but yeah, how do you balance that? Like the thing between wanting to do better, but also not coming to the way that you are hyperfixating on it.
It's a really good question. I think that it's like, I think what helps is having goals. So like if
Yeah.
we use the fitness analogy, which I think is like familiar for a lot of folks, like thinking about like, well, what are my goals? So like if fitness is what we're talking about, like is my goal that I want to run a marathon in 6 months?
Mhm.
If that's my goal, my training is going to look really different than if my goal is to lift in an Olympic lifting competition, right? Or if my goal is to um, lose weight, or if my goal is to put on some muscle, whatever that might be, that's
Yeah.
going to inform what my training looks like. And so in the same way, like thinking about my mental health, like, well, what are my goals? Like, is my goal to maintain the state of peace that I've achieved to this point? And if that's the
Mhm.
case, then I just continue to do the things that I've been doing that I know work. But if
Mhm.
my goal is like, hey, you know what, I just started dating and I've noticed that like I get super, super anxious and insecure. So like my goal is to work on my attachment. Then the things that I'm going to do throughout the week or in therapy are going to be focused on that particular goal. And
Mhm.
so I think like having a goal really helps, because then we get to start to think about like milestones. We get to start thinking about like actionable things that like are moving us
Mhm.
towards that goal. And then there's not this overwhelming sense of like I have to do it all, right? In the same
Yeah.
way, like if we don't have any fitness goals, it's like, well, I need to be running and lifting and stretching and swimming and walking and getting my step. Well, it's too much. Like it's a lot, right?
It is.
And in the same way, it's like if I'm trying to heal my anxious attachment and my trauma and my eating disorder and my depression, like that's just too much. And so
Mhm.
figuring out like what is my priority right now, what is the thing that hurts the most